Shalom lekulam. It sounds so serious and heavy, so I'll try to start with a sense of humor and try to tell you that the Israeli branch is in a very difficult situation because we both represent continent, country, and community. Now when there are two Jews, there are three opinions. Try to analyze what's going on in Israel when we mix all the three together. And the second issue, you are dealing with their government, with their parliamentarian, with their officer. We are dealing with ours. Now try to judge between me and our people there in Israel. What's easier, to deal with them or to deal with us? So that's just for the beginning, but don't take it too serious. The Israeli branch really have a different positioning. We are basically working with two arms. One, toward what we canceled yesterday, thanks God, the diaspora. It's not the diaspora, it's Jewish communities around the world. It's a different meaning for us. And that means that the office in Israel serve all the services needed for any community and organization that plan to come to Israel and need any support. It's starting by a connection to communication, a connection to the parliament, to the Knesset, government officers, update information about Israel, about the Middle East, and all kinds of other services that are needed. We are supplying that. We already supplied, and I think by that we are able to encourage the World Jewish Congress by the support of the Israeli office. The second one, internal. We are more and more from day to day encouraging the connection between the World Jewish Congress and the parliament and the government of Israel. It was weaker connection in the past. It's now more and more strong connection because the parliament and the government of Israel identify the importance of the World Jewish Congress. It's a great change. I served in the Israeli parliament, the Knesset, for 7 years. I can see it from 2006 until today. From day to day, it's more identified and accepted by the Israeli officers and decision makers in Israel that they need the services, the support by the World Jewish Congress. The World Jewish Congress is able to enter and connect places that we are not able to do as a state. One of the examples have been a year ago was the visiting to Venezuela. Israelis are not able to enter there. The World Jewish Congress create a connection. I'm not so sure it gave any major change in Venezuela, but it shows the ability what the World Jewish Congress can do while the state of Israel is limited by doing that. So that the two arms, one internal, one external, and the bridge between Israel and the communities around the world is one of our major tasks. We start by a few initiatives that really fulfill the priorities given by the President yesterday. We did not start it yesterday, we started before, but it fit the priorities. One of them has been initiated by Israeli Knesset and the World Jewish Congress. We call it the ICGP, International Council of Jewish Parliamentarians. There are over 300 Jewish parliamentarians in over 50 parliaments around the world. I think that the best way to connect our interests as Jews around the world to the decision maker in 50 countries, believe me, 50 fingers in the UN can create a major change in the whole position of the State of Israel. We should use them, not just the Jewish parliamentarian connected with non-Jewish parliamentarians in that parliament, and the ICGP who gathered in Jerusalem last year on the summer, give us the opportunity to create net connection with the Jewish parliamentarian. Around 75 or 80 participated. There are much more in front of the way how to establish more and more tough connection with them, give them more and more information about delegitimation, anti-Semitism, Jewish property in the Arab countries has become a major issue here, as we have seen. And not less important, last and not less, of course, is the support in the international organization. I myself served for 7 years in the OSCE. OSCE is a gathering of 75 parliamentarians with over 300 delegates, starting United States, Canada, and ending in Eurasia. And having there an influence, have a major task in order to stable Israel in a better positioning in every arena, and the arenas become much more difficult from day to day. Young generation, one more priority. Young people advocacy for the sake of Israel and the Jewish around the world. we use now what we call a word that we don't have it in Hebrew, so we use it from English. We call it hasbara, right? Around hasbara, right? In Hebrew, we say hasbara. In English, hasbara. So we use the young generation, and it's a way to create and collect more young people under the umbrella of the World Jewish Congress. It's important for them to find for us, and we use all the tools in order to grow up the next generation that will lead the Jewish people around the world. One more priority, the interfaith activity with Christian communities around the world. Here is a joint venture between the Caucus Allied in the Knesset, which I participate for 7 years, not more anymore, and the World Jewish Congress in Israel. We try to use the Christian caucus in the Knesset and our ability to contact to Christian communities around the world. We visit. I could tell you, I myself, with the Christian Light Caucus in the Knesset, you couldn't believe we spent a few days in the Philippines and met a community of over 7,000 Christians in the Philippines, great supporters of Israel. We visited 2 years ago here in Hungary. There's a congregation of over 100,000 Christians, led by Pastor Nemeth. He took part here yesterday. We met him here. Over 100,000 Christians in Hungary now support the state of Israel and the Jews. It's not a simple, it's not an issue that we can ignore. So that's a co-production between the World Jewish Congress in Jerusalem and the Knesset. Let's go on to a new initiative that has been discussed here, so I'm not going to go into details. We call it tzedek, justice. It's dealing with Jewish property in the Arab countries. It can be used both in order to find a compensation for the property, but not less important, that is our answer to the demand that the Palestinians for the right to return to the state of Israel can be a wonderful tool in order to encourage our statement in a coming negotiation with the Palestinians and the Arab countries around. We say, yes, we hold Arab property in Jaffa, Haifa, and Jerusalem, but you hold it in Baghdad, Damascus, Beirut, and other places. So it's a political tool on one end, it's a practical and economical tool on the other end, and we initiate that first conference in Jerusalem. It's in an ongoing, Robert, process that has been exposed here, so I'm not going to go into details. One more new initiative, again, referring to the priorities. The delegitimation of the state of Israel have been dealt by separate initiatives by many, many organizations. Everyone was making a business for himself, a Shabbos for himself, as we say in Yiddish. We succeed to gather all of them under one umbrella, but not just all the organizations around the world, which are many, not just communities, but within the state of Israel. It's ministerians and the IDF and the Mossad. All of them is now joining power together. We face where we failed on the flotilla of the Marmara. The response was very weak, did not reach what we should reach. We failed on all the channels around the world. It has been repaired by the meeting and gathering of all that entities together. And in the next flotilla, the attitude of the press around the world was totally different. We find a way how to repair mistakes that we have been done before. Two traditional activities are still ongoing. One of them is the Research Institute. We discussed it just on the beginning on Sunday with Ronald. The budget will be kept on it, but we are going to change the shape. We are going to find a new update, modern way in order to deliver and spread all that knowledge around the world, not by 500 hard copy, which no one is reading now, but on using the most advanced ways in order to deliver that knowledge, a lot of knowledge of research they are done now. Last and not least, the Israeli Council for Foreign Relations that gave us in Jerusalem the opportunity to welcome leaders and ex-leaders around the world, having them the stage in Israel with all the publicity around. It's not a very expensive activity, but it gives the Israeli branch the opportunity to invite leaders from around the world to stay in Jerusalem and having the dialogue between them and us. And last and more important thing, the Israeli office is open, the door are open, the services are delivered to all of you. Use us. It doesn't cost money, you pay in advance. So thank you very much, and good luck for all of us.